Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final boarding call, and the doors will be closing soon.
Hey everybody, this is Bob from ResortLoop.com. This is welcome to episode 36 of our show. Tim asked me if I would be so kind to have a kind of a Disney trip wrap show, since there were some activities that we did after the show was the last show was posted. We weren't all the way home yet, so I thought I'd invite my entire family to sit and talk with us about the trip. Before we get started, though, I do want to say, I know I promised everybody that the trip report on Best Friends Pet Care. Best Friends Pet Care, beautiful facility, very nice, but I must say, this is just me talking, I will never travel with my pet again. Not fair to him, because being that we're from the Northeast, taking him to Florida, it is so awfully hot. So even when he would go out and they would walk him, it was just unbearable for him. He's not used to that kind of heat. So that, coupled with let me first say, the folks there are spectacular. They are very nice, very, very nice people. Took care of us in every way. The only problem we had was, for some reason, Sonny the dog smelled atrocious when we picked him up, and I don't know why. I know they offer a grooming service for when you pick up your pet. I don't know if other people have had this issue, but we certainly did, and we didn't realize until we had gotten in the van and started driving, and my daughter said, "Oh my gosh, Sonny just smells really bad." So we had to stop and try and get him some spray to mask the smells, and didn't work out quite as good for us. Plus, it was a Friday. We were driving home, so we had a difficult time finding any kind of hotel to stop on the way home. And they frown upon you giving your dog a bath in a bathtub anyway.
Or bringing in a stinky dog into their hotel.
Or bringing a stinky dog into their hotel, right. So we ended up driving straight through, and not a comfortable drive with a smelly dog. So that being said, I will never travel with Sonny again. He was a pleasure. He was fine. I gave him a bath before we left, and then I had to give him a bath as soon as we got home. So a little bit difficult situation with him. Would have been better had he stayed up here. We've kenneled him several times up here with no incident of anything like that ever occurring. So that was the situation. He seemed fine. He didn't. He wasn't freaking out or anything like that. Like sometimes, depending on the kennel that we have him in. So that is the Best Friends Pet Resort. So anyway, so let's finish up our trip. Our last day, we wrapped up by park hopping all over the place. We thought about shutting down Magic Kingdom, but we ended up actually sitting on the beach at the Polynesian, eating our Dole Whip and watching Wishes. And I can't think of a better way to wrap up your vacation than sitting there and watching Wishes from the Polynesian beach, eating a Dole Whip without the big crowds. So,
yeah, exactly. That was fun.
So anyway, my wife is here, my son Bobby, and my daughter Emily, and we're just going to kind of go around and give our impressions of the vacation as a whole, and what you liked, what you didn't like, and just kind of your final thoughts. So let's start with Patty. What did you like? What did you not like? Kind of an overall trip report.
Well, I had a great time. I thought the Animal Kingdom Lodge was wonderful. I thought the fact, and you mentioned in an earlier podcast, that they had upgraded us to a Savannah view room, which was awesome, to wake up and see the giraffes in the morning and drink your coffee on the balcony. And, you know, we had wildlife right out our window, which was really nice.
Right. Actually got to see the African, what were those, crowned cranes?
Yeah.
when we first got there, there were 3 eggs.
Yeah, and at some point she laid another egg. So
laid
she
another
started with
egg,
3,
yeah.
ended up with 4, but they didn't hatch before we left.
Yeah.
But yeah, the hotel was great. One thing that I absolutely loved that we've never done is bought park hoppers for all the days we were there, except for one. We had one off day that we didn't go into the parks. But,
Right, because usually we like to focus on just one park, and we spend all our time at one park.
Right,
Well,
but this time we had park hoppers, which I loved. I don't know that I'd go back down again and not have that option. However, having said that, the transportation wasn't as easy as we have experienced in the past. You know, it's very easy to be in one park and say, oh, okay, I'm going to hop over here and have lunch and then go back. Well, when you're at Disney in June, which we don't typically travel to Disney in June, we were not prepared for the huge crowd and just
crowds.
the wait for everything. So getting around with the park hoppers in June wasn't as easy as I had hoped.
It did allow us, you got to say, though, it did allow us that first day when we went to Disney Studios, and once the crowds really got heavy, it allowed us to move on to
Right.
Epcot, which was so much nicer, very thin crowd over there.
Right,
So.
right. Another thing is, and you and I talked about this, and I think that you probably differ in your opinion about this, but
What? We never differ
I
on
know.
our opinion. On
so I love the Animal Kingdom Lodge. I love the hotels. And that, what's the category?
The deluxe.
The deluxe, of course. I love the deluxe hotels. However, the way we do Disney, sun up to sundown and then some, we're closing the parks. We're getting there at the rope drop, and then we're staying till the bitter end. To me, it is not cost effective to pay for the deluxe resort unless you allow yourself 2 days to decompress and to enjoy the resort. I mean, we were there, but we didn't get an opportunity to do any of the activities that they had as far as, we were talking about the night vision,
Right, yeah,
watching, and some of the pool games and activities that were going on. Now, granted, we had 2 days that we had planned to swim, but it rained,
right.
in the afternoon. So there's that. But for planning purposes, I would give ourselves probably 3 days. Maybe a day at the beginning, a day in the middle, and a day at the end to fully utilize that resort.
Now, how do you feel about if someone's going to take that advice? How would you feel about then, instead of booking an entire stay at a deluxe resort, booking your first 4 days at a value?
Perfect.
And then moving over to a deluxe for the last 3 days.
Yeah, I mean
And
that would
enjoy
be the perfect way to
Now we
do
did
that.
I will say this: you got to be careful of that, because remember, we did do that on one vacation. This was years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
And we stayed at a value resort. We stayed at Pop Century, loved it, and then we moved over to the Beach Club. And we said, "Oh, we love the Beach Club. We're going to spend our last 3 nights at the Beach Club." And the hurricane came.
Oh, yeah.
You can't use Stormalong Bay when there's a hurricane.
Exactly. So now you're paying to sit in your room.
Right.
Right.
Which there's nothing wrong with a room
Well,
at
there's
the Beach
risks.
Club, but yeah, there are
What are you
risks
gonna do?
involved. So, okay. Overall, how was your feel for the trip?
It was. I wouldn't give it a 10. We've had trips that were 10s. I don't think this trip was a 10, only because of the crowds. Everything else was great. The staff was great. I mean, we still had that Disney experience. It still felt like Disney. It was still exciting and magical and all that. But we've had some pretty fantastic vacations there, some that are hard to top. So
Right.
I think this vacation would have been a 10 in, I don't know, May or November
Right.
or,
Right.
at
early
some other.
December. Yeah, anytime there
Yeah.
isn't those huge crowds.
But I
right.
still give it a 9.
And what was your best, the best part of the trip for you?
Wow. That's...
I know what it's going to be for Bobby, so I thought I'd throw this out before we get to him.
I don't know. I'm going to think about that. I
All
don't
right.
know.
All
I
right.
need a minute.
Emily, since you're the next in line for the throne, What was your overall feel for the trip? How did you like the trip?
I enjoyed the trip. I agree with Mom, though. It wasn't a 10. I mean, it was a great trip, but it wasn't a 10. And I think the reason it wasn't a 10 was we aren't used to the heat in June in Florida. You know, we're used to the heat.
102 degrees
Yeah.
in Epcot that one day. Yeah, that was rough.
Exactly. We're used to, warm, not, fiery
Sweltering.
depths. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, I think that really took a toll on us. And I also think that, the crowds were just, it was not what I was used to.
It was a lot. Yeah, we finished up Star Wars weekends, so there was a
Yeah.
huge crowd there
Yeah.
for that. And of course, the first full week of kids being out of school up here in the Northeast, I know we saw a lot of Ohio cars. So.
Yeah.
What would be your favorite part of the entire trip?
I think my favorite part was probably going to Epcot because that is my favorite park. And
eating where?
we ate in the Siemens Lounge.
No, we didn't eat in the Siemens Lounge. We got a chance to go
Well,
into the Siemens Lounge. Where did we?
I don't know
where
what you're
did
talking
we eat
about.
where did you and Mom eat in Epcot?
Oh, France.
Oh, in France.
We ate
Les
in
Chefs de France.
Yes. They hire beautiful people.
I know the
We
kids
just
kept
throw that
talking
out
about how
there.
beautiful all the cast members were
Yeah.
in the worlds at
Germany and
Epcot.
France.
Germany and France.
She's right, they
I
were.
enjoyed going those places. It's very fun.
All right, there's a teenage girl. So all you teenage girls run to Germany and France and look at the boys over there. Epcot was your favorite. How'd you like that Savannah view? We got upgraded to the Savannah view for free. How'd you like that?
That was really nice. I didn't really get to enjoy it that much because we were going to the parks and everything. And when you get back, you're really tired. But, in the mornings, I'd go out and I'd see, the animals and stuff. And I did. I enjoyed that. That was very nice.
But Emily, be honest here. On your downtime at Disney, what were you doing?
I was on Tumblr.
Exactly.
So
She talks about, I didn't have time to look out the window. When, between Tumblr and the parks, you didn't have time.
Exactly.
right.
I'm not going to take Tumblr out of my schedule. It's a big part of my life.
So there's a tip right there. Unplug.
Yes.
If you're taking the teenagers to unplug.
No, that's
Somewhat.
not necessary.
No, she was good. She wasn't on there that
No,
much. She
not-
did.
Actually,
sit outside.
truth be told, I was probably on there more than anybody because
Exactly.
of tweeting for everybody. Which again, I want to thank everybody for following us along on Twitter and Facebook and helping me out. We were able to find some really good places to eat thanks to a lot of advice from some folks. So that was very cool. What did you think of Beer Garden?
That was very interesting. The food, no, don't get me wrong. The food
That
was
was a
really
loaded
good.
answer.
The food was really good.
It was
I really
delicious.
enjoyed. I don't know what they were called, but they were some kind of potato, like mashed potatoes, and they tasted like sauerkraut and mashed potatoes and ham, and it was just really, really good. But I wasn't expecting having to sit with other families.
Yeah.
That was very awkward.
Yeah, it's we sat with a family from Arkansas, so that was
Yeah.
and
Yeah, they were very nice. But
they were very nice.
we
and
should have
they-
done
Yeah.
4 and
there were
4 instead
Yeah.
of sitting across.
Right.
We should have done 4 and 4. But
Yeah.
Right. So
That was
when
okay.
you're going in there, know that there's a chance you're going to sit with another family, and you might want to kind of coordinate with them before you all sit down. We sat all facing one another, all 4 on one side, all 4 on the other side, and it was a little bit more odd.
yeah, we
Yeah.
couldn't really
Right,
talk
that
to each
way.
other that much while we were
Right.
having dinner. So.
Right.
Yes. But like I said, the food was great and the desserts were fabulous. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was really
Those
good.
were so good.
So what would have been your favorite part of the entire trip? And don't steal Bobby's.
I don't know what Bobby's is going to be, honestly.
He talked about it the entire way home. His favorite part.
I wasn't paying attention. My favorite part of the whole trip would probably have been, that's hard. You know what? I think my favorite part would have been when we split up and it was me and Mom and we went all around the World Showcase and we got to go to all the different countries and look at everything, and that was very nice because, I mean, we didn't have, Bobby wanting to go on different rides, and I mean, like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I understand that he's, a kid, he wants to go on all the rides, but I just wanted to sit there and just do everything in every country.
Right, which is what you wanted to do anyway. You said that ahead of time, that this was something you wanted to do. You wanted to be able to just go and enjoy Epcot.
Yeah.
World Showcase.
Yeah, that was very nice. I really liked that.
Great. Bobby, what was your overall... You're laughing again. You got that podcast laugh going that you can't help. What was your favorite part of what was your overall feeling for the trip? How did you like the trip?
I'd give it like an 8.
Oh, really?
1 to 10. 8 because, first of all, I hated the crowds.
Yeah, there were a lot of people.
Second of all, I didn't like when we were all enclosed in small spaces together, like Soarin'. Like when you get into the rows and Soarin', when everybody's clashed kind of together and all those smells kind of.
You kind of get that Disney shuffle going, where everybody's moving forward, inching at a time, and I don't think you ever even pick up your feet. You just shuffle your feet. You're moving very, very slowly. So you didn't like the crowds. What did you really like it on this trip? So, you gave it an 8. So what makes it an 8?
I'm gonna save the best for last. So first of all, I like the animals outside of our room.
Yeah, that was cool.
I liked how I got to sleep on the top bunk.
Oh yeah,
we had bunk beds this time.
Yeah, we got the bunk bed rooms this time.
What about Test Track? What about some new things that
Test Track?
What did you think of the new
I wouldn't
Test
give
Track?
it. I'd give it like a 6 because nothing changed except making your own car. And when you did make your own car, the graphics on it were just
okay.
kind of like, I don't know, weak. Like for Chevrolet, like a multi-million-dollar corporation, they should have like better graphics for Disney World.
And we stood in line for over an hour and a half for that ride because the fast passes.
I think it's over 2 hours. I mean, it said 80 minutes, but it was more than 80 minutes.
Yeah.
But Bobby, you're looking at that from a 12-year-old perspective, and you're playing these video games that have wonderful graphics and everything. What do you think a 8-year-old would think of Test Track?
I think an 8-year-old would be like crying at the end, but
what do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, it goes through 4 different categories. It goes through durability. It's a very long word. I'm just going to say turniness, like when you turn your car. Maneuverability. Yeah, but it said like responsibleness.
Yeah. Responsiveness.
Yeah. Durability, that thing, power, and
economy.
No, it wasn't economy.
Echo something.
It was something like eco-friendly or something. And like I think that'd be fun, like the building of your car for an 8-year-old. I think it'd be complex.
Oh, so it'd be too hard.
And once you get the power, that's the part where you go like all around the whole test track, like that big kind of blast.
Yeah.
I think an 8-year-old would be kind of scared, but a 10-year-old would really enjoy it.
Good.
All right, so what was your favorite part then?
The Siemens VIP lounge.
If you've listened to our last podcast, we were honored to be invited into the Siemens VIP lounge.
Because Resort Loop Bob knows people.
It was very, very nice. It's in Spaceship Earth, and it's very cool.
You get to color your own floor, like not with crayons or anything, but it's this big touch screen, And once you click on color your path, you can choose from a bunch of different colors. Because this whole floor is like lit up. And like I chose lime green because lime green is my favorite color. And they gave you free drinks and stuff, and they had really nice cups. And they had a touch screen that told you about Siemens.
It was just very nice to be able to sit and relax and kind of recoup.
In the air
what about the
conditioning.
very end?
And then at the end, if you wanted to go, the lady led the. Well, it doesn't have to be a lady. It was the
receptionist.
The receptionist leads you to like this dark room where you go down these stairs, and you get to go on spaceship Earth first.
Yeah,
like,
that was
before
very cool.
anybody else.
We felt like big shots, didn't we?
Yeah,
That was very cool. But let's go over real quick some of the new stuff that we saw. We got to see the new Fantasyland expansion. What you guys think of the new Fantasyland expansion?
I really enjoyed the new Fantasyland expansion. I thought that was really cool.
What was your favorite part of that?
I think my favorite part was probably Belle's area.
Oh, yeah.
Because I thought that was really cool because it looks like, what it looks like in the movie. And I would just like to say there was, Gaston was outside of his tavern
Yes, he was.
one time.
Yes.
And he was hilarious. People were coming up. We didn't get to get a picture with him because the line was too long and the lady wasn't letting anybody else get in the line.
He was getting ready to go on break. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was hilarious. People would come up to him and he'd get on this real macho voice and he'd say stuff like, "Oh, I bet you were celebrating meeting me," and stuff like that. And it was just really funny.
Yeah,
like,
he was really good. He was funny.
It was really the highlight of my day seeing that.
Fun. He was very cool. Test track. We kind of went over test track and how you felt about that. What's that? How did you feel about Fantasyland, Bobby?
Talk about the princesses. Well, I felt that Fantasyland, like, I don't want to be critical, but I think they could do more with it.
I agree.
Well, they are. I mean, they're going to have that mine ride, the Snow White mine ride's coming.
And like, I think they put in like a Casey Jr. water play area thing.
Yeah.
I think they should just leave out the whole thing. Just keep like 2 Dumbo rides, not the whole big playpen, not any of that. Just the 2 Dumbo rides, and make all that like storybook circus all Fantasyland.
I agree.
Because the mine ride and Ariel and like those are the only 2 things there. I mean, like Tomorrowland, like Frontierland, Adventureland have more than one ride in it.
Well,
So-
I will say this: if you were a lot younger, if you were just 5 years younger,
Right.
you would have loved that Casey Jr. where you could go and get sprayed with water, and it was a water because we did that something similar to that in Universal at the Curious George area, and you loved that. I mean, that was something you both of you guys just loved when you were younger. But now that you're getting a little bit older,
Right, now you're not into that.
you're
I
not-
thought that area was nice. I mean, I was thinking, boy, if we had kids that were a lot younger, they would love this.
Yeah,
No.
I would say 3 to or even younger, up to
Up to
probably
6,
around
7,
8.
8, yeah.
I think they'd enjoy it more if it were, more of the movies that they. I mean, I know they've seen Dumbo, probably, but the whole Pete's Circus thing, I think they should have kept with the princess movies and done it, really spectacular, like the Harry Potter and Universal. They really outdid themselves with that. I mean, every little detail is Harry Potter. I think they should have left out the Pete's Circus. I mean, I still think they should have done the Casey Jr. thing and the whole Dumbo area. That's really cute, but I think they should have left out Pete's Circus and instead made it more
Maybe Jungle Book
Princess-
instead or something.
either Jungle Book, or they could make like a forest and make it Pocahontas or something. You know what I mean? Like kind of like a what is it? A Bug's or not? It's not. It's the Bug's Life thing that you. Yeah, whatever, wherever that is. I think it's in the Animal Kingdom.
It's in Hollywood Studios.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay. Well, like that area, how they're, the grass and the bugs everywhere.
Right.
If they did something like that with, like, Pocahontas or something like that, you know what I mean? That would be kind of cool.
So, I think what Disney was trying to do was not just have it be a girls section of the park.
Yeah.
They don't want just the girls, going to Fantasyland. They want everybody to be able to go there.
That's
so
true.
I think that's why they threw in the Peach Circus and the two Dumbos and the Casey Jr. Water section. The mine ride's going to be spectacular, I think, once they get that finished up, which it's getting close. I mean, I think they've got most of the track in now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's coming along. How did you like the tangled bathrooms?
Those were really cute.
Yeah,
those were really, I like those.
Yeah, it's just a bathroom in the men's room for the most part.
Gaston's Tavern was awesome.
That was.
Yeah, we didn't get some of the things we did not get to experience. We did not get to experience Be Our Guest at all. They won't let you in there unless you have reservations. We didn't get a chance to try and go in there for the counter service, so that was an issue. And we didn't. We got fast passes for Ariel, so we didn't really get to check out the Ariel queue, which is supposed to be much better than the one in California. So a couple of things we didn't get a chance to do there. We didn't get to experience Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. We had quite a few nights where there was thunderstorms, and Bobby and I, you want to tell them about Tom Sawyer Island? What happened on Tom Sawyer Island?
I was really disappointed because we never did Tom Sawyer Island because I never read the book. But this year in my class, we read The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. And, like, I wanted to go there really bad. And we only explored, like, 1/4 of the Tom Sawyer's Island. And then a thunderstorm hit and we had to go. And then the next day a thunderstorm hit and we had to go.
Yeah, they shut down Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. They shut down Splash Mountain.
The boats.
The train.
The train. The boats. We were going to take the boat ride from Port Orleans French Quarter and go down to downtown Disney the one day, and there was a thunderstorm, which they shut down the boats for that. So just not what we're used to, because we've spent so many times down there in the off season when we're not dealing with thunderstorms and crowds. So made a little bit of a different trip for us. But let me ask you about Tom Sawyer Island. You've read the book now. How did you like the island?
I think it was really intricate in detail. I think it was really, like, spot on. I mean, all the things aren't in the places that I, like, expect, but it's just one island. You can't, like, separate things the way that people imagine them.
Right,
you know?
right.
And this doesn't have to do with Tom Sawyer Island, but it does have to do with Mark Twain. I think people pass up in Epcot, in the American Pavilion. I think people pass up the American. I forget what it's called.
American Adventure.
Yeah, the American Adventure. Too many people pass that up because when we went there, me and my dad, nobody was there. There was like 10 people there, and that's it. And I really think that's sad. I mean, it's a great show, and it teaches you a lot about the history of the United States, and I think people don't appreciate that as much as they should. Right. Also with the Three Calabres ride in Mexico. That one doesn't teach you about any Mexican history, but it's
no,
a
it's
fun
just
ride.
showing you. Yeah, it's showing you different places you can go in Mexico. Right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, you do learn some history watching the American Adventure. That's for sure. Let's wrap this up. Let's go around and we'll do favorite park and favorite ride on this trip. So, Patty, go ahead. Favorite park. They don't have to be in the same. The ride doesn't have to be in that park. But favorite park, favorite ride, this trip in particular.
The Magic Kingdom, still my favorite park, and Soarin'.
All right. Emily?
My favorite park is Epcot, as usual. And my favorite ride is Spaceship Earth. I really like that ride.
Yeah, that's a fun ride. I enjoy that too. A little hidden Mickey there in Spaceship Earth as well.
Two.
Couple
Remember,
of them. That's
I found
right.
one.
That's right. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you
In the
did.
paint.
In the paint
I
stains.
saw that too. I
Yeah,
saw the
Bobby,
paint.
your favorite park and favorite ride?
My favorite park's the Magic Kingdom because I just love the atmosphere of it. And my favorite ride, I think, would be Space Mountain.
Oh,
Like
very
right
good.
now, I mean, my tastes change. Like I love all the rides equally, but if I had to say one, I'd say Space Mountain.
Very good. Very good. Just want to throw out, before I tell you mine, we had that trip report from our buddy Scott up in Wisconsin, and he told us about Splash Mountain getting a new refurbishment. It looks fantastic.
It really does.
It's so much nicer. The audio even sounds much better. We found out that Carousel of Progress got some new lighting. It's much brighter. It's always a great ride. Never anybody on there, but it's always a great ride.
Yeah.
And finally, Expedition Everest, he had mentioned that some of the stuff wasn't working. The shadow, in particular, of the Yeti tearing up the tracks, the silhouette, that was working. That was all right. The Yeti still our disco Yeti. That is just,
I like him. I like the Yeti.
the disco Yeti.
I
I got to
disco
say, my favorite park is of course, just like you, Patty, the Magic Kingdom. Love the Magic Kingdom. Got to go there. And my favorite ride this time, I got to say, was the Jungle Cruise. We rode the Jungle Cruise at night, and we had a great Skipper Matt.
Oh my gosh,
If
he
you
was
get
so
Skipper Matt,
funny.
that's awesome.
He was hilarious.
He was really funny, and I think he was playing it up even more so because there were two young girls sitting
I
up
noticed
front
that,
with him.
yeah.
It
Yeah.
was strange how he had them sit right next to him.
Right. And he
And-
sat down with them
Yeah,
for a
he
minute
kept
or two.
glancing their way when he would tell a corny joke. So anyway, it was a great trip. We really appreciate all the input from everybody. Input from Twitter and Facebook. You guys were fantastic. I will say, when you want to beat the heat, I got 3 words for you to beat the heat. Innovations. If you're in Epcot, go in Innovations. It was so cold in Innovations, you could hang meat in there. I mean, you want to cool down quick, that was a place to go. And of course, Club Cool. We love Club Cool. That was
Daddy.
fun. Going to get something to drink. Yes?
Innovations is one word.
No.
It's one word.
I got to look that up. Anyway, thanks everybody for listening. Thank you, my wonderful family, for putting up with me on this vacation.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the wonderful Father's Day gift as we record this on Father's Day. And thank you all for listening and participating in the show as much as you guys do. We really appreciate it. So please follow us on Facebook /Resort Loop. Our website, of course, ResortLoop.com. Check out Tim on Twitter at ResortLoopTim. I'm ResortLoop Bob on the Twitter. And please rate us on iTunes. So for Tim Scott, I'm Bob Collar. This is ResortLoop.com, your gateway to the magic. See you, everybody.